Okay, I'm done crying. So I just wanted to thank everybody for coming today and giving Matt this opportunity to talk about his favorite topic. And this experience is going to help him on his career in being a public speaker. So thank you. And I'm turning it over to Matt.
Hello, everyone. My name is Matthew Schwab. When you see me, what do you see? Do you see a high school graduate, a college student, loyal, reliable employee, son, brother, cousin, grandson, community volunteer, friend, neighbor, boyfriend, North Carolina legislative, intern and page, public speaker? Well, I am all those things and more, much more. I am a 20-year-old North Carolina native. I live with my two brothers. I live with my parents and my dog also in Holly Springs, North Carolina. I also have Down syndrome. There are 3 types of Down syndrome. Translocation can be inherited from an unaffected parent. Mosaicism is when only some of the cells have the extra 21st chromosome. Trisomy 21 is when every cell has an extra 21st chromosome. It is the most common type. I have trisomy 21. Most, but not all, people with Down syndrome have the following characteristics: short fingers, broad hands, often with a single deep crease across the center of the palm, small head, low muscle tone, short stature, slanted, almond-shaped eyes, hyperflexibility. As you can see, I have all of them. I have always been included in regular education classes, but the work got much harder in 7th grade. I was a safety patrol officer and won a reading award. I had fantastic teachers and was Julius Caesar in the Wax Museum. I loved elementary and middle school. I also loved high school. I graduated June of 2017 from Holly Springs High School with an occupational course of study diploma in the OCS program. Regular high school classes were geared toward my level, along with 900 hours of job training and regular education classes. During my time at Holly Springs High School, I have joined the chorus and the high school theater company, earning my International Thespian Society cord. I was a co-creator of a group called Hog Hang Out, where typical kids hung out with kids that have special needs. I made lots of friends. As you know, my school is Holly Springs High School, but these pictures, as you can see, I am very active in high school. Spirit of the Hawk, for showing daily commitment to positive character and embodying the Golden Hawk spirit. The principal presented me with the Spirit of the Hawk award in graduation. I work at Chick-fil-A of Holly Springs in North Carolina and have been a dining room host for more than 3 years. And, of course, I love my job. I attend Wake Tech Community College in the Abe Tops program. This program is exclusively for adults with extra needs who wish to continue their education. I just finished in the North Carolina General Assembly as the paid intern and page for Representative John Bradford of Mecklenburg County. Local TV interviewed me about my experience there, which you'll see in the very last slide. I spoke about my experience at the National Down Syndrome Congress Convention in Dallas, Texas, earlier this summer. I volunteer at the Museum of Natural Sciences in Raleigh, North Carolina, and it can be found manning an education cart and sharing my knowledge of theropod dinosaurs every Wednesday. I've spoken about Down syndrome many times, including the North Carolina's Governor's Mission on March 21st, 2014 for World Down Syndrome Day. I have spoken on behalf of Gigi's Playhouse, and I've spoken at the YMCA and the county public school system, Raleigh Mayor's Committee for People with Disabilities, and for other organizations. I'm a pep talk giver and team manager for a middle school girls volleyball team. I am serving my second term as co-president of the Generation G Advisory Board with our local Gigi's Playhouse. I volunteer and participate in a variety of programs. Gigi's Playhouse Raleigh. Gigi's Playhouse is a nonprofit franchise of Down Syndrome Achievement Centers, and the programs are therapeutic and educational, and they're free of charge to the families. We opened our doors in June of the year of 2016. Ever since, we have served over 500 families since that time, with almost 40 playhouses across the country, including in Mexico. Our Raleigh location was the first playhouse in North Carolina, with another opening soon in Charlotte. Gigi's Playhouse is a place where individuals and families can go for support and friendship. I also volunteer at 321 Coffee, a nonprofit pop-up coffee shop started by an NC State student. I hope to take on a managerial role with them soon. I love hanging out with my brothers, friends, and especially with my girlfriend, Lucia. I am part of a group called the Cool Kids Club. We are 12 friends with Down syndrome who know each other for years and years. We have gone bowling, swimming, to the movies, and pizza parties. I love hanging out with my cool friends. I rode horses in the Special Olympics for 4 years and won lots of gold medals. I also made it to brown belt in Taekwondo. I have been to Camp Spearhead, Lose the Training Wheels Bike Camp in Charlotte, and the Youth Leadership Camp in NC State. I really do love my dog, Daisy. I love to dance and play in the snow. I love to travel and been lots of places. And I've been a ring bearer in 2 weddings. I pick on my brother sometimes and argue with my parents as I fight like crazy to be independent. I am learning independent living skills, like shopping and cooking, and so I can live on my own. I plan to be a public speaker and hope to marry my long-term girlfriend, Lucia, when the time is right. I want to take a second to thank my Grand Jan for all her support and love since before I was born. Now, Grand Jan will give you some more information about Down syndrome.
Wow. You haven't even finished yet. This is the boring part, but it's very important. Has lots of details and lots of things that you probably might not know. Down syndrome is the most common genetic disorder, and there is no cure. Just like the typical population, there is a wide range of ability in the Down syndrome population. Every year, about 1 out of every 700 babies born in the U.S. has Down syndrome. That's about 5,300 babies a year. Due to misinformation and fear, approximately 70 to 90% of babies prenatally diagnosed with Down syndrome are aborted. Down syndrome doesn't care about your race, gender, nationality, religion, or how much money you have. 30 to 40% of babies with Down syndrome have heart defects. Gastrointestinal issues are also common. Fortunately, both can usually be corrected with surgery. Vision and hearing problems also are common. These can be corrected with glasses and hearing aids. Low muscle tone is pretty common. I think everybody has that. Many wear braces and orthotics.
And I was lucky, and I don't have any heart and gastrointestinal problems. I do wear hearing aids, glasses, and orthotics for extra support, but none of these keep me down.
There is always some level of cognitive impairment, and there is usually a delay in physical and language development as well. Some of us have low muscle tone, and many have health concerns. People with Down syndrome usually need speech, occupational, and physical therapy, and sometimes feeding therapy to help develop those skills. And the key to that is really the early intervention. Matthew got, by the time he was 3 weeks old, he was having all of these therapies and had them for a long time. He's had them throughout his life. He used sign language to communicate before he could speak. And he actually didn't speak until he was probably about 3, and we were concerned that he wasn't going to talk. But all of a sudden he started, and he hadn't shut up since. He is always working on something. It takes him longer to learn most things, and he does some things a little slower. People with Down syndrome are just people. They have plans and goals. They enjoy relationships with their friends and family. Sometimes they fight with their siblings and ignore their parents. People with Down syndrome are a part of our communities. They are on sports teams, belong to clubs, volunteer, and go to church. Some are included in regular classrooms. More and more graduate from high school, and many even go to college, like Matt is. Many have jobs and live independently. Some even get their driver's licenses and get married. Most importantly, people with Down syndrome are just like everyone else. They have feelings and emotions just like you.
First, this is not planned, but I would like to thank Grand Jan for all she has done for the previous slides. I had Down syndrome before I was born. I will have it my whole life. But as you can see, it is just one part of me. Feel free to notice my differences, but please focus on the overwhelming ways I am just like you. After this short video coming up, I would be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Legislative interns are an integral part of how the General Assembly functions.
One intern in particular.
I am sure that I can do great things in my future, and I cannot wait what lies in store for me in 20 years. Thank you for listening to my life story.